friends, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be a reading for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week of December the 20th to the 26th. Okay, so we're going to start here for Libra with an oracle card for the final guidance, and we're going to read that at the end of your reading to see what are the final guiding messages here for Libra. We'll take that card. Okay, and now to start the reading, let's see here, where along the Fool's journey does Libra find themselves this week? Where does Libra find themselves? What do they most embody in the major arcana here on the Fool's journey? Where does Libra find themselves? Okay, let's see here. The Tower. Okay, Libra, let's do this. Let's find out the truth. Let's find out the truth. Let's let divine energy here do some karmic clearing. Let's unveil things, right? Let's reveal things through destruction and through enlightenment. We're consciously deconstructing our reality, conscious deconstruction of reality here to gain enlightenment, to release things that don't serve us, and to understand the illusions around us, to see them for what they are. What's going on, Libra? What's going on for Libra? Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, so it's personal. This is personal, Libra. This is your personal enlightenment. This is about you. Okay, this is about you and you. You're looking at yourself here and you're deconstructing yourself to really gain some enlightenment and perhaps to release a former sense of yourself. The Emperor, he is in reverse, so that tells me that you're struggling to create boundaries around this new version of yourself, but you're on the path. And I think the Tower energy could help with this Emperor in reverse here, so that you're not feeling like so unsure about what to do in terms of choices. This Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor, to me, could easily represent divine feminine, divine masculine, right? And so it's almost like the divine masculine energy is challenged right now. There are challenges when it comes to restructuring who you are as an authority in your own life, as who you are. You know, the Emperor is really the expressive part of yourself that can make choices and be decisive and be in a leadership role. And so it's like those are the areas you're finding are challenging you. So if the Tower energy is present, perhaps you're going to gain some enlightenment on how to, you know, sort of possess a higher amount of masculine energy this week, or not a higher amount, that's kind of quantifying it, but just to tap into that masculine energy, this week for Libra as they go through this transformation around maybe some relationships. So there could be some close relationships that are going to be of support to you through this, or maybe these are the relationships that will show the transformation. There could be some transformation around that Ace of Swords in reverse. So it's really causing you to have a conflict. And again, it's personal. That sword is pointing at you. So it's almost like seeing the Three of Cups with the Ace of Swords in reverse tells me that maybe you're going to take something personally. You know, maybe you're going to take something personally on an emotional level when it comes to some people in your life, and that you're going to see some truth here, Libra. This is interesting. People close to you challenging things. You're being guided to have temperance. We see the Temperance card and the Queen of Swords flipped over. So that's interesting. So to be sort of mindful as you make this Queen of Swords represents Libra, by the way. So it's almost like as you are becoming sort of certain of who you are through this process, be mindful of staying conscious of the surroundings. I think to be conscious and mindful of divine timing as you go through this, perhaps not to force things into place. So to be easy with your Queen here of Swords, and to not be you've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, and then Temperance. So that tells me maybe you need to strike a balance with how you are communicating, right? The Queen of Swords feels a degree of certainty that can make her her communication sharp. And so perhaps you're being guided to have more of a temperate, soft approach here as you express yourself to yourself. Like this could also be a message of take it easy on yourself, Libra, because the Queen of Swords, this Queen of Swords does represent you. So to be mindful of how are you talking to yourself? Being mindful of what you're saying to yourself. What is that inner narrative? Yeah. What kind of picture are you painting here as the final outcome emotionally? Are you looking at it? We see the Ten of Cups in reverse. That makes me wonder, like, are you focusing on the worst possible emotional outcome when it comes to this situation? Or are you kind of being mindful that it could be Nine of Cups upright, that it could be a dream come true, it could be the ultimate wish? Instead of focusing on how it could go awful, what about focusing on how it could go well? That could be the theme here that's getting deconstructed in the Tower. What is happening in that Tower card? It's the Magician in reverse. So it's like really being careful about setting your intention and being mindful that that matters, Libra. It matters. If you choose to focus on the Ten of Cups being in reverse, then you're going to find that what you're attracting and what you start to see most in the world, what your focus becomes as you focus on it mentally and emotionally, you'll start to see it reflected before your eyes even more. So I feel like the more you focus on how it could go wrong, that's what you're going to start to see. And so by seeing that Magician in reverse, it tells me that you need to be sort of careful about how you're approaching this, because you could be attracting some things that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know what I mean? Life really is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And there's the Seven of Wands. So, and then what just slipped out here? The World. So it's like, are you going to be are you going to stand in defense of your position very strongly, like the Queen of Swords? Or are you just going to let things take their natural course with the world? Because perhaps something is cycling out into a new beginning. And it's like, you have to pick what mountains you're going to fight on. And I wonder, like, that Seven of Wands makes me question whether or not you're sort of looking over your shoulder and trying to control the process of this, instead of sort of just letting things unfold and having set an intention. You know what I mean? And feeling like you are bringing in whatever you embody. And so you're mindful of what you're embodying and thinking about and what your beliefs are. There's the Fool here. I feel like seeing the World and the Fool next to each other really says you're starting a new path. You're starting a new understanding here. And that's why we're seeing the Tower energy fall. But it's interesting. This storyline makes me think that as Libra is starting this new path and ending this old path, that it's sort of like, what is the emotional and intuitive perspective you have about this? You know, are you sort of focusing on the ending or the beginning, right? Are you focusing on the ending or the beginning here as you move through this? I just want to clarify here, what is this Ten of Cups in reverse related to? Two of Wands. This Ten of Cups is related to your spiritual initiation and whether or not you're going to, what side are you going to partner with? Are you going to partner with the positive path or the negative path? And there's no judgment here. It is just a choice and you have free will. So it's interesting because, you know, that clarifies this, is that, you know, which emotional pathway are you going to choose? Which spiritual pathway are you going to choose? Which mindset are you going to choose? Is it going to be the pathway that's led by the positive path where you sort of believe in a benevolent universe? Or is it going to be the negative path where you choose to see that all things are challenged emotionally and that, you know, all endings lead to jealousy and envy and having to look over your shoulder? It's interesting. It's like the path of the higher self versus the path of the lower self. And I feel like that is Libra's big decision this week as they are restructuring themselves here. Conscious deconstruction through that Tower energy that we saw at the beginning of the reading. really gaining a lot of enlightenment about which pathway, which pathway are you going to choose after the tower falls? It's a really interesting question. Now, let's see what oracle card you got. Shadow work. Absolutely, it's shadow work, because you're really choosing here between which pathway to follow. It is shadow work. Let me read you the card. It says, clear stagnant energy, change destructive patterns, claim your personal power, resist the victim mentality, yes, and embrace the mystery. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have a fresh chance here to start over with a new path forward, and it's up to you. And so doing the shadow work will help you understand what your motives are and how to proceed with sort of this new path as you're closing out a chapter with that World card and starting a new one with the Fool. The Tower is coming in to help clear out that stagnant energy that is mentioned here in the shadow work card. And then it's up to you after that, right? It's up to you. Will you resist the victim mentality or not? Will you choose the high vibe path or the low vibe path? Which one will you choose? Will you allow this, these destructive patterns to be cleared out with the Tower or not? It's very interesting. And you have that Two of Wands there as your sort of, I feel like, which direction are you going to choose to walk down? Because it's a new beginning here for you. You're really clearing out. You have the opportunity to clear out a lot of stuff here, Libra. It's a very interesting reading for you. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. If this has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading, you can find a list of the readings I offer and my email in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for liking, watching, and subscribing. And we'll see you again very soon for another reading. Sending you lots of love and light, my friends. Have a great week.